I still remember the sound of my teacup touching the saucer. It was a small sound, almost nothing, yet it echoed loudly in my ears. I had asked a simple question, one I believed any mother had the right to ask. So, when is the wedding? My son looked at the floor. His wife, no, not yet, I thought, cleared her throat and smiled politely. Then she said the words that changed everything. We already got married. Last week. For a moment, I didn't understand. My mind tried to arrange those words into something sensible, something kind, but they refused to fit. Married? Last week? Without telling me? I smiled because that is what I had learned to do over the years. I smiled when I was hurt, when I was confused, and when I didn't want others to see my heart breaking. But inside, something cracked. I had imagined this moment so many times. I had imagined fixing my sari, holding my son's arm, and walking proudly into a hall filled with lights and laughter. I had imagined blessing the bride, whispering prayers into her hands, and thanking God for bringing a new daughter into my life. Instead, I was sitting alone in my living room, holding a cold cup of tea. That night, I couldn't sleep. Memories kept visiting me one by one, like uninvited guests. I remembered my son as a little boy, running toward me after school, his bag bouncing on his back. I remembered working double shifts, saving every extra coin so he could go to a good college. I remembered telling myself again and again that one day it would all be worth it. Was this that day? The next morning I decided not to cry anymore. Tears would not give me answers. Silence would not heal me. So, I did something unexpected. I invited them both to dinner. They arrived in the evening, holding hands, smiling nervously. The house smelled of rice and spices, familiar and comforting. We talked about small things at first. The weather, work, traffic. No one mentioned the wedding. Finally, as we sat down to eat, I spoke. "Why didn't you tell me?" The question hung in the air. My son opened his mouth, then closed it again. His wife looked at me, her eyes soft but guarded. "We were scared," she said quietly. "We thought you wouldn't accept us." I felt a strange mix of emotions. Anger, sadness, and something else I didn't expect. Guilt. "Why would you think that?" I asked. She hesitated, then spoke honestly. "Because you always seemed distant, strong. We didn't know how to reach you." Her words hurt, but they also made me think. Had I built walls so high that even my own child couldn't see over them? That night, after they left, I sat alone again. But this time, I wasn't just replaying memories. I was questioning myself. Somewhere along the way, I had mistaken strength for silence and dignity for distance. Weeks passed. I sent messages instead of waiting for calls. I asked about their days, their plans, their worries. Slowly, carefully, something began to change. One afternoon, my daughter-in-law called me. Her voice trembled. "Ami," she said, using the word for the first time. "Could you come with me? I need help choosing something." My heart skipped a beat. "Of course," I replied. She wasn't choosing clothes, she was choosing furniture for their small apartment. We laughed, argued, and drank tea from paper cups. For the first time, I saw her not as the woman who married my son without telling me, but as a young person trying to build a life. Months later, they surprised me. They organized a small gathering. No grand hall, no loud music, just family, close friends, and warmth. My son held my hand and said, "This is our wedding celebration. We want you here." As I looked around the room, I realized something important. Love does not always arrive the way we expect it to. Sometimes it comes late, sometimes quietly, and sometimes after disappointment. That evening when I blessed them, my hands no longer trembled. My heart felt lighter. I learned that day that being included is not just about being invited. Sometimes it's about learning how to open your heart again, after it has been hurt. And yes, I miss their real wedding, but I didn't miss being a part of their life.